In this week's In Focus feature, we profile College of Charleston's Willis Hall, who has come to epitomize the Charleston Way. Willis kicked off his senior season with a bang, becoming the National Player of the Week after a 26-point, 21-rebound night against rival Davidson in his hometown of Charlotte.
That was a huge surprise. I'm not a very flashy or, very good-looking player out there, with my moves. So, it was a great award. So it was getting close there towards the end. So we were counting it down, and I kept telling him, you're not coming off this floor. You got 3 more.
So for him to go back to Charlotte for the most part and play that way, for him to have 26, it was a great bus ride home for us. It was an accomplishment for us, and it was led by Willis.
It was a fun experience, especially being able to do that with my friends and family around. It was a really cool experience, especially right there where my mom and all my family is, so they could come see the game. It was great. So that was fun for their last hoorah, I guess, at the Davidson game to put one like that up.
Willis has shared his experience at the college with his brother Judson, continuing a bond through the game that started when they were kids.
We were always very good at being on each other's teams, so whether we were playing against each other, playing with each other, we were always having fun. Especially for, my parents, my mom or dad, having 2 kids, seeing 2 kids on the same team. When I'm having a bad game or I'm having a downtime, he's always like, man, you got to pick it up, you got to pick it up. And whenever he's out here and he's, lollygagging or loafing, I'm yelling at him like, you're going soft, you're going soft. And, we kind of balance that out for each other. There's not many players in the country that get to, have their best friend sitting on the bench with them.
Hall is a leader off the court as well. The past 2 years, he has assisted in community building within the deaf population of Haiti.
We've worked doing relief work, but I know that relief work only goes so far.
I really fell in love with it just because of how simple the vision was. Our players could go down there and use sports as an avenue to help the people down there.
It was neat to see that it wasn't us necessarily targeting them, but it was them that heard the vision of helping people and making a difference, not just here in Charleston, but around the world, and they stepped up. So I think that really says a lot to the heart of those guys. And
that experience was really, it's kind of life-changing, because once you get down there and you realize how those people live, but how much they care about their own communities, their own neighbors.
Huge language barrier. So it was cool to compete and play a sport with these guys.
We don't know Haitian, Creole, we don't know French, and we have translators, but when you bring that ball out, kids just come from everywhere. And it's kind of the universal language of sports.
In my time in the Navy, we would pull into ports. I spent the greater part of my time in South America, in the Caribbean, and you pull into a port, you can always find a game.
Being a part of that, getting to have that experience with them and them sharing with us how they live their daily life, that's something you don't get every day. It really makes what we're doing seem that much simpler when sometimes you may think it's really, really hard.
Joining the Hall brothers this year was head coach Doug Wojcik, which added another dimension to their relationship.
One of the best things was going down with Coach and being able to, he was with his wife, and I was there with my brother and another teammate. So you get that interaction, that one-on-one kind of time, and you get to know him more as a man instead of that player-coach relationship.
We interacted on a different level while we were down there, and it bettered our relationship now.
It was, it's a rare time to really get to know your players like I have with the Hall brothers. It's just really added to our team chemistry and camaraderie on the team.
Willis also had the distinct honor of having a sign language name given to him by members of the community in Haiti.
The day they gave me my sign name, I'll never forget that. I had long hair the first time I went, and it was real windy one day, and I kept having to brush my hair back, and so the one kid said, "You're in," like that, and I was like, no way, I got a sign name.
Throughout his time in Charleston, Hall has proven to be a model student athlete, which does not go unnoticed by coaches and faculty alike.
I've seen a lot of student athletes during that time frame, and of all the ones I've taught, and obviously there's a lot that I didn't teach, but of all the ones that I taught in the business area, Willis is clearly one of the top 4.
Willis has always really kind of gotten it. Just try to have that influence on them. Try to have his work ethic, try to have his bring it every day.
It's not just enthusiasm, it's ability to inspire. He has a tremendous amount of charisma, tremendous amount of energy. And I think that's the kind of student athlete that you want to have. And we're really fortunate that he came here. His presence in the classroom, helping fellow students, providing leadership and teams in the classroom as well as out.
Willis hopes to continue in the game of basketball, whether it is on the court or in the front office.
The fact that it's important that you prepare for later on in life, because at some point the ball does stop bouncing. Hopefully, eventually, I'd love to work in basketball, whether that's coaching, maybe player development. I'd love to be working in a scouting department of an NBA team. You know, I love the game, and I'd love to find a career where I could keep that in my life.
I think it's just a matter of what he decides to do with his life, and we all have different paths, different journeys, and I look forward to watching him develop and grow.
Don't count him out, guys. I'm telling you, don't count him out. You will hear from Willis Hall at some point down the road in basketball.
For more in-focus features and on-campus coverage, visit caamenshoops.wordpress.com and caawomensHoops.wordpress.com.